Week 3 of Ventures class, or perhaps maybe just a recap of the last 2 weeks where you've been now working diligently on the sim, and many of you have gotten right to where you should be at this time. Some of you are getting there, and that's all good. The learning process in actually doing the work, that's where you're learning. If you compare the sim today to when you're opening your physical bricks and mortar building and business, you'd have frustrations. There'll be days when things don't go well and you wonder what you're doing, and there's days when it goes very well and you're very happy because you made some revenue and things went smooth. So there's going to be days up and down. The challenges for entrepreneurs is how they deal with it. You know, you're going to get thrown a curveball or something in the morning that just upsets your day. That's how do you deal with it. That is why there are not so many entrepreneurs, and that's why many people decide to just work for a boss, because they don't want the added responsibility or don't have the ability to deal with it. So you are a group apart from that because you have the ability to open your own business and deal with all the frustrations as they come along. So as of tomorrow, it's now Sunday night, as of tomorrow morning, February 8th, you'll be in the sandbox mode with your simulation. I do have some phone calls into tech support. I know there's some queries some of you have where some of the material you've been putting in is disappearing. I believe that has to do with the compatibility of your computer, and I'll confirm that hopefully by tomorrow. So keep up the work, keep up the planning that you're doing. I see some of you have borrowed some substantial amounts of money to start your businesses, and some of you already have employed people. The sandbox for the next week is for you to play around with. Make some mistakes, just do things. Whatever you think you want to do, just do it. And that's important because there's no consequences for that week. There will be when you open up, and I'll be talking to you in a week's time, and you'll be able to get a much better handle on it in a week's time because you'll have tried all the trials and errors and so on. So check your computer compatibility and just keep at it. Then on this week's thread, I've uploaded some articles, and we're going to talk about, on the discussion, talk about entrepreneurs versus entrepreneurs and versus elite entrepreneurs. Right, entrepreneurs, basically someone who would open their own business, such as yourself. But look also at entrepreneurs, who are people within companies who build value for the company. For example, those sticky notes that you see on your computer or that you use for marking your books were developed by 3M, and that was a technician scientist who inside in that business unit decided to experiment with that, and he actually made it work. And of course the result was millions of dollars for 3M. He still works for 3M, he doesn't have his own business. So that would be an example of an entrepreneur that builds value for the company because they see an idea inside the company that maybe the people running the company don't see. And then the elite entrepreneurs, for example, Richard Branson. You can Google Richard Branson if you already don't know who he is, and you'll see that would be an elite entrepreneur. And so I want you to read those articles, compare, contrast, add some more if you want, and give some examples of in the thread of entrepreneurs. You know, each one in the thread should be giving. By now, you should be doing at least 3 threads, 3 responses. Your original plus response to 2 others, and find out what companies these entrepreneurs work in. Right? Is Martha Stewart an entrepreneur? If so, maybe you want to look at her. But since I've already mentioned her, she's probably off the books now because you're going to have to find someone else. But there's lots more out there. So what I'd like you to do is to research some female entrepreneurs and highlight their competencies. What competencies do they have, did they have, that contributed to their success? There's lots of very successful female entrepreneurs out there. There's also lots of very successful female CEOs and in all top echelons of corporate America. Look, in addition to that, for entrepreneurs in the minority populations and discuss some of the challenges that they face. Not always easy. It's already not very easy for female entrepreneurs for a variety of reasons that you can research, and in certain cases for female minority entrepreneurs, that added difficulty level, which is unfortunate because these people bring so much value to the business world, but they have a difficult time in getting through to the top. You have that so-called glass ceiling that is in corporate world, not necessarily corporate America, but corporate world, if I would call it, worldwide. It's a phenomenon that exists worldwide, transcends cultures, and is very unfortunate because, as you will research yourself, and for the majority in the class who are female, you will see that it's unfair. So anybody who's got an idea and who can bring it to fruition should be judged on the merits of how they went about getting the idea, as opposed to gender or race or skin color or religious beliefs or whatever. So you'll be very fortunate in your life if you can cast those assertions aside and focus on the person and the ability that they can bring to your business or to your partnership or whatever it may be. So just again, this weekly update to give you some guidelines as where you should be. Again, just to recap, you should be, as of tomorrow morning, in the sandbox with your business simulation. You should be planning, hiring, firing, putting menus in, looking for marketing ideas. You have no repercussions until the 14th of February. And then on the 15th of February in the morning at 9 o'clock, your business will open, and then you start actually making money. I repeat from last week, research your Facebook connections and advertise. There is a link inside in the sim where you can give your friends who are not part of the sim, where they can go in and purchase something from your business. So if you have coffee on the menu, ask your friends to go in on a daily basis when they go to Facebook, when they open up their Facebook, ask them if they wouldn't mind just clicking on your link, going in, purchasing a cup of coffee. If you have 100 people on Facebook and 50 of them do it, you're selling 50 cups of coffee a day, and let's say you're selling a coffee for $2.50. Well, now you've got just over $100 where you came in to your business. Maybe you have another section of people that you can send through Twitter. They might come in and buy lunch from you. So there's another asset. How do you go about getting marketing your business to people and driving people to your business? So on the web, it's quite easily. We realize it's a simulation, but nevertheless. So that's regarding the sim. And then the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs, elite entrepreneurs and elite entrepreneurs, research those links. They're in the handout. There's a document in the handouts on Galnet. Open it up and all the web links are in there in that document. And last but not least is the feasibility study that's due on Wednesday. This is a feasibility study that you can do either on the business that you're doing in the sim or a separate business that you can do, emulate, if you like, that would be a real business upon graduation, whereas the sim is maybe something slightly different. It can be the same, it can be different, it's entirely up to you. Is the business feasible? And that's something that you would do before you open your business. Some of you have emailed me and said, I'd feel more comfortable doing this after I open my business. But a feasibility study doesn't work that way. The feasibility study is there to determine if your business is feasible before you even get to opening it. So that's due on Wednesday, and that should really highlight for you some of the challenges that you might have to face in your business to see if it really is going to work. So that's about it for this week, and I'll be in touch again sometime next week, and through the threads. I will start a thread, so I want you all to contribute to that, and everybody should have at least 3 responses on the thread. So I'll talk to you next week. Take care.